What's good, YouTube? Today, through Unity, we're going to be working with variables in C# today. And what are the things we're going to be covering? We're going to be covering int, strings, float, and bools. And these are all the very primitive types of variables that exist, and we're going to be doing them very quickly today, within 5 to 10 minutes. So let's go. Alright, so here we already have our Unity project already opened up, and we're going to be starting off with going through and creating a game object. We'll go ahead and create an empty. We got a game object already created on the side, and like before, we're going to go ahead and create a script, and we're going to go to create. We're going to go to C# script. There we go. We're going to call it script1. Now we're going to go ahead and open it up. All right, here we go. So before we do anything, we're going to get rid of the void update function. We don't need it right now. We're probably going to be just using the void start. So what are we going to be doing? Well, let's go ahead and start with an integer. All right, so how do we create a variable that holds this information? So before anything, we go ahead and write this keyword, which is int. Now we're going to say num, okay? And we're just going to say, hey, it's going to be equal to 1 for the moment. All right, so this int keyword can only be an integer, right? So it could be from any negative number all the way to a positive number. Now that we have this, we can go ahead and say, all right, so now that we have this, how can we show this into our script or anything? So here in the void start, we can go ahead and use our buddy that we used a while ago. Debug.log, and we're going to go ahead and say num. Now this is the variable that we're going to see when we go ahead and start the script and see it through the console. So let's go ahead and try that, but before we do that, we always got to save. And let's go ahead to the Unity console, saving real quickly. Here we go, we hit the console. Now, wait, we almost forgot one thing, because right now we hit the play, we let it run, and we are expected to see that number, but we see nothing. Right? So we got to go ahead and attach it to the game object, the script. So go back to project, we got the script, just drag it on over, pop, here we go. So now you guys should be able to see script1 on the right side over here. All right, so now we should be able to go to console, hit play, and here we go on the bottom left side where it says 1. All right, so now that we got the integer working, we'll go ahead and get out of this. So we'll hit the play button once again. We're out of the screen. Go back to our project, double click on it so it takes us straight back. Now that we have a integer taken, we can do this slash twice to get it out of there. So that means whenever we restart this, it won't be taken into consideration. So it's like being ignored. So we'll go ahead and now do a float. It's the same thing, it's just this number can take decimals now. So we can go ahead and use the same variable that we used a while ago, and we're going to say num is equal to, this time we'll say 1.01, and we hit the F to let it know it's a float. It's a special feature, I guess. Hit the semicolon right there, and now we can go ahead and see it in the console. So let's go ahead and check this out. Alright, we're back over here, we'll hit the console. Go ahead and hit play again. Alright, so we're back on the Unity. So we'll go ahead and make sure we're in the console. We should be getting 1.01 when we go ahead and hit the play button, so let's see. And here we go, we got the float now being shown as 1.01, so it worked perfect. Let's go ahead and do a string next. Alright, so same thing like we did, so it gets ignored and not used. We'll go ahead and put double slashes on that. Now we gotta use a keyword called string. Now we'll call this, instead of number, we're gonna say word. We'll equate it to our usual hello world stuff. Like you guys see if you have been coding before. We got now hello world equal to word now. So now we'll go ahead and get rid of that num. And we're gonna say word. Save it. And now if we run Unity and we set up the console, we should be able to get hello world there. Alright, so here we go, we have console, before it was 1.01. If we go ahead and clear this and then run it, we should get hello world in the console. And here we go, we got hello world. All right, now let's go ahead and do our final piece, which is a bool. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we already got our integer, our float, our string taken care of. Go ahead and double slash so that we ignore it. Go ahead and type, oops, we don't need double slash. Give ourselves some space. Go ahead and write bool, which is a keyword for a variable that tells us that it's going to be either true or false. So let's go ahead and say, I don't know, Boolean. All right, that's going to be our variable that holds that information. And in this case, it holds two pieces of values. I believe it's true and false. And I also think that if you use null, it will also show up as empty, right? So we'll go ahead for now and say true, semicolon. We're telling the computer it is ready to compile this up. Go ahead and change where it says word, and we're going to say Boolean. Save it. All right. So now where we have the console, we take a look. It says hello world. Go ahead and clear that up. Rerun that game, and we should be able to say or see true. And look at them. So very quickly, we were able to do the most basic variables, the primitive variables. We went from string, integer, float, and booleans to be able to do some basic programming to store our information. All right, YouTube, thanks for coming and checking this out. See you in the next lesson. Bye.